I had another tutorial with cheese rolls before, but this one is different. It's pillow soft cheese roll. Let's get started. For the dough, you need 2/3 cup of whole milk, 1 tablespoon instant dry yeast, 1/2 cup sugar, 4 egg yolks, 1/2 cup butter, 550 grams of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt. For the filling, you need cheese strips. You can use cheddar cheese or you can use melting cheese. For the tanzhong, we need 1/2 cup all-purpose flour and 1 cup of whole milk. We will make the tanzhong first. This is flour and milk. Alright, you mix this and we will cook this to a paste. I haven't put on the heat yet. I'm trying to mix together the flour and the milk first. The tanzhong method is a Japanese method but adopted also in Taiwan and in other Asian countries. But this really originated in Japan. Okay, so I put on the heat now. And we just stir this until the mixture becomes a paste. It's starting to thicken. So mix it so we get a nice paste, a smooth paste. So this is okay. See, once you see a film like this is a thin film of flour. This is ready. So I shut this off and I will just mix this well. When you make the tanzhong, you can make it the day before, keep it in the refrigerator, and use it the following day. Like this one, we're going to use this today. I'm just going to cool until room temperature and then I start mixing. This is the film that I was telling you about. When you say cover to the touch, it means the top should touch the plastic, not like that. Alright? It should touch the plastic so that the skin will not form. Okay? You can put this in the refrigerator or in the freezer as long as it gets back to room temperature. Here, this is our tanzhong. It has cooled down. So we're ready. I have here milk, yeast. If you're using instant dry yeast, you will see the moment you stir it, you will see some activity, some bubbles. So you know the yeast is active. If you're using active dry yeast, you have to dissolve it in sugar, in water with a little sugar, and then you wait for 15 minutes for it to bubble like beer. Then you continue. Since we're using instant yeast, we don't need to do that. As soon as you're sure your yeast is active, you can add the other ingredients. So I have here sugar, egg yolks, and then we have the tanzhong. Okay. And then we have the flour. We will add the butter last. Oh, I forgot the salt. Don't add the salt directly to the yeast. Add it on top of the flour. Because remember I said it will slow down the activity of the yeast. Or sometimes it will kill the yeast. By the way, for the flour, you add between 500 grams or 550 grams. Okay? It's a difference of about 1/3 cup. Because it depends on the size of the eggs. Okay? At this point, you can see that it's blended now. So we're going to add in the butter. When you make this, you add the remaining 50 grams of flour. If you see it's still a little bit wet, then you add the 50 grams. Otherwise, 500 grams should be alright. Okay? At this point, you mix the dough until it's smooth and elastic. This takes about 8 minutes. After 8 minutes, let's check the window pane. First, prepare a mixing bowl, put a little oil, and then put oil in your hands. You pinch off a small portion. See, the dough is very, very soft. And then you try to stretch the dough. Stretch the dough slowly. If it doesn't break, then it's good. You can stop mixing now. See? It's very thin. You can see the tip of your fingers. Okay? This is good. So let's take this out. Okay. And then fold it over. Okay. So you have oil on the top and the bottom. And then we will put plastic. If you don't like plastic, use a damp cloth, or you can cover this with a baking pan. What's important is there should be no draft that will go in, so that you will not form a skin on top. Okay, so we'll see this in 45 minutes to an hour. Here is our dough. You will know if it has risen enough because if you poke your finger, indentation should stay. It should not rise up. Okay, so if you poke it and it stays, then it's good. Okay, so release the old air, and then we'll divide. This is the container that I'm going to use. Depending on the size of your container, I think this is number 5.5. I'm going to put in about 55 grams. You know how I estimate it. Your dough should be 1/3 the size of your baking pan. Okay? So this is about 55. Okay? I will do 54 because my weighing scale does not go 55. Only by 2s. After you portion them, make them into a smooth ball like this. Okay? What you do is turn it over and then tuck it. Okay? Or, you know, the easiest way is always do this. You press the dough against the table, at the same time you cup your hand. Alright, like this. Okay. Now you remember where you started. I started here. So I will also start forming here. Okay? If you find it difficult for the dough to roll out, it means you have to rest the dough. That is what they call bench rest. Okay? When you bench rest, please cover this. Okay? Alright, so from here, turn it that way. Roll it into a rectangular shape. We're going to make cheese roll. Okay? And then I have here, this is cheddar cheese. You can use a melting cheese, but you know, it would be, this one melts a little bit, but it's always nice to see the cheese inside. Okay, so tuck this close and pull this so it's on the same, and then close. Okay, and then we put this here. Alright, again, by the way, don't forget to put shortening so they don't stick. Again, always smooth side down, then rectangular shape. You look at the size of the cheese. This one, I slice the cheese according to the size of the pan, so your dough should also be rolled according to the size of the cheese. Okay, don't push back, and this one fold, and then this one pull it so that it will be on the same level, and then roll. Alright, then it should always be like that. Never put it on a baking pan that way. Always down. Okay? Okay, here is our cheese bread, or pillows of cheese bread. And then I don't have enough of this. I just put them in a baking pan like this. Okay? So we will proof this for another 45 minutes to an hour until it's double in size before we bake it. I'll bring it out for you to see before I put it in the oven. We will do the egg wash after it has risen. Okay? We have already proofed this. These are pillows of cheese bread. This is ready to go inside the oven. So what we're going to do now is apply a wash. You can use milk or egg. I use milk. Right, we'll put this in a 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes or until it's done. Okay, and then we unmold this. We cool it down. If you like, you can brush the top with melted butter and dip it in sugar. Okay, so this will go into our big oven. I have many recipes to share with you. If you're interested, please like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you can be alerted when a new video is uploaded. Here is our pillow soft cheese roll. You remove them from the pan so it will not sweat, because if it sweats in the pan, there's a tendency for it to get moldy. You do this for all your breads. This is the one without the mold. You can also serve it this way and or sell it 5 pieces in one order. The bread is now cooled. I brush this with butter, melted butter. After you brush, you wait for a while before you dip it in the sugar, so you don't use up so much sugar. I have sugar here. Okay, so you dip only the top in sugar. Don't dip it all around. This is not donut. So like this. And then you can wrap them in glassine paper or whatever, or cello sheets. Always wrap them when they're at room temperature, okay? Never wrap them when they're warm. Look how soft it is. See? It keeps its shape even if you press it. See?